to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Week wrap-up with William. William will be joining us in a few minutes. Guys, we are live from L.A., but tonight TNA goes live from Chicago. What's going on, fellas? We got Ant, we got Maurice, we got Will Smith joining us in a few minutes. What's going on, guys? Are you guys excited like I am? I know I am. Hopefully you guys are too.
Hey, Chi-Town always get it popping, dude.
After the way that the lockdown pay-per-view ended on Sunday, I am very excited about tonight's episode.
Very super excited. In case you don't know, in case you guys been sleeping under a rock, we have a new TNA World Heavyweight Champion, and his name is Bully Ray.
And I gotta admit, that one still shocks me, because I ain't never think I'd see him as a heavyweight champion.
Exactly, right? Anthony, let's go back to lockdown real quick. Fuck. Did you see this coming? Bully Ray, new TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
I'm going to be honest. Did I see that? Did I see it coming? Yes, I did. I saw it. I figured that he was going to join Aces and Eights, but that doesn't matter. Just because something's predictable, the execution of the whole thing was excellent. Just because something's predictable doesn't mean it won't work. What I didn't expect was the moment that he won the title, that fans were going to start tossing trash into the cage and into the ring. Not only did the fans get upset, but it caused a riot in the crowd. Who would have been?
Right.
What else? What more can you ask for? He generated more heat than anybody could have asked for. This was excellent. Career revival for Bully Ray. He gets mad props from me.
Let me ask you this, Ant, real quick. Is it the fact that Bully Ray turned his back on Hogan and the TNA fans went crazy, or was it the fact that Jeff Hardy supporters got mad at Bully Ray for turning his back on him?
You know what? That's interesting because Jeff Hardy is the most popular guy in TNA. But I really do think that it's the fact that people didn't want to see Bully Ray turn. People want to bull. The thing about it is people wanted a reason to boo Bully Ray, and now they have their reason. I'm not saying that it's kind of like when Hulk Hogan joined the NWO, but it's up. People wanted a reason to boo the guy because he wasn't a great face, period.
Right.
But now they have their reason, and the way that it was all executed, it went off without a hitch.
Right.
George Jeff Hardy.
Go ahead, Willem.
Okay. I think that whole thing with him trying to be the goody two-shoes, nice guy, suck up to Hogan, take him to a book and all that stuff he was doing, that was all the sucker was in to make us believe he was this goody two-shoes, nice guy again, so he could pull off that thing at lockdown.
Exactly, bro. Maurice, real quick, what are your thoughts on this whole Bully Ray thing as the new World Heavyweight Champion?
I gotta admit, I did not see it coming. But on a joking side note, I was glad for one night because it got me points. But other than that, yeah, like I said, it all lasted one night though. As far as what the overall thing was, I was like, I don't believe it. They gave him the title. Because quite honestly, like I said, I didn't think it. I thought there was a better chance if he brought the real ECW back, he'd get that title before he'd ever get it. Like anything, either WWE or TNA.
Now, fellas, I'm not going to be a TNA hater. I'm actually, like I said, I might sound like a hater sometimes on WCC. For those of you that got Facebook, follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/Wrestling Commentary Central. William, let's start off with you on this one. William, is it a mistake to give Bully Ray the World Heavyweight title?
No,
is it too soon or too late?
I think it's the perfect time because think about it. The Aces and Eights, for the longest time, people were talking about they suck, they haven't got anything, they haven't done anything. Now we have Bully Ray, it's the VP, or not the VP, but the president of Aces and Eights. He's the most hated guy on the show now, and he has the World Heavyweight title.
Right. Speaking of hate, let's go back to lockdown again. one of the matches we had in there, we got Wes Briscoe going up against the Human Wrestling Machine. And for those of you that know that much about Kurt Angle, let's be honest, this motherfucker is literally a wrestling machine. Your thoughts on Wes Briscoe trying to, backstab Kurt?
This is a big win for Wes Briscoe, but I do expect Kurt Angle to get his comeuppance. I expect Kurt Angle to get his revenge on Wes Briscoe. He's not going to let that win slide because Kurt Angle's like you said, he's a wrestling machine. He's way better than Wes Briscoe will ever be.
Right.
Yeah, because Kurt don't go out like that too often, man.
That's right. Kurt Angle's not going to go out like that.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just calling in right now, we are talking about Wes Briscoe going up against Kurt Angle at Lockdown this past Sunday. We're also joined right now up in Big Dallas himself, Mr. Big Red. Big Red, we're talking about Wes Briscoe and Kurt Angle. Your thoughts on that match from Lockdown?
Man, that was a good match. I mean, of course, Kurt Angle carried most of the match,
Right.
And yeah, like Anthony said, Kurt Angle will get his revenge. I mean, because Kurt ain't gonna let that slide. He got Wes Briscoe in there, so and he turned on him. So, hey, expect Kurt to get that ass.
Right.
What does everybody think about what's going on with AJ right now?
What I think about what's going on with AJ?
On AJ Styles. Have you seen it?
Man, I don't know what to think about that. I'm trying to figure out what the hell are they doing with him. Period.
I think somehow he's like undercover or something, trying to infiltrate the Aces and Eights or something.
Right.
That's just how it appears. But something's telling me that AJ Styles, what he's going to do. Think about it. Back in the 90s, remember when everybody thought Sting was NWO and he wasn't?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's going to be the same thing where the way it goes is AJ Styles isn't aligning with anybody, but he just wants to get rid of Aces and Eights. He feels TNA turned their back on him too, so his whole thing is that, hey, fuck both of you.
I know, but they showed him last week hanging out with at that biker bar.
I could throw you another one there. I'll throw you another one. I'll go the opposite way. Remember how when Savage was blackballed by WCW? And then, then he hung with Sting, but then he actually decided to pick. It was like, okay, WCW, y'all turned your backs on me, too. So I was like, okay, I'll go over join the enemy. Or to update it a little bit, even how when everybody thought Test was the mole for during the Alliance invasion, and it turned out to be Heyman, and it was like, okay, everybody beat Test up, but then it was like, okay, Test was innocent all along, and then he wound up joining the enemy because he was pretty much outcast by the WWF. And I was like, I could kind of see a similar thing happening with AJ there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a whole Lucha Libre right now on you guys. I'm gonna go Lucha Libre on you guys. AAA, by the way. I'm gonna go AAA on you guys. I'm gonna go with AJ becomes this dark heel that he's just AJ Styles, the name. That's it. He's not some kind of high flying wrestler. He's not gonna be some technical wrestler. He's just gonna go in there, beat your ass, 1, 2, 3. It's over. Simple as that. That's what they do with a lot of Mexican luchadors when they go heel. The whole heel turn. It's like they just go in there, they beat your ass, they leave the ring. That's it. They don't entertain you for shit. How sad is that? I have a feeling they're gonna do this with AJ right now because this whole Bully Ray thing just really outshined them. It sparked. It just blew up. No one expected this to blow up as much as we did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm thinking AJ Styles is just going to be your typical heel, just going to go in there, cut a promo, I hate you all, fuck you, I'm out, I just kicked your ass, bye. Simple as that.
Yeah, but if you look at the way they've done those vignettes with his family, talking about how they don't know him or they don't know what he's doing something like undercover or something to where he can't tell anybody.
Exactly. Moving on, gentlemen. We got a few minutes left on the show. Moving on, we got also Velvet Sky going up against the beautiful, my baby mama, Gail Kim. Big Red. Started off on this one, bro.
It was a pretty decent match. I mean, it was good. You know, Gail Kim is awesome. We all know that right there.
Exactly.
And it was a good match. I liked it. And of course, Velvet retains the belt. And it was a pretty fair match. I liked it. It was good. It had its spots but I had to say I'm starting to like what they're doing with Taryn Terrell now.
Yes. What do y'all think about Taylor and Gail getting into a fight?
It had to happen sooner or later.
Yeah, Gail had that coming. I mean, she slapped the chick for no reason. Like, hey, it wasn't a 3 count.
Well, not only that, but it's also Taryn also had issues with I think Madison Rayne at one point in time. She's had issues with Tara. She's had she's had an issue with a lot of knockouts during matches, and it was there's only so much she's going to be able to take before she goes off on somebody.
I think eventually they're going to have Taylor actually wrestle and fight Gail Kim.
Right.
Yep.
Big N, I gotta ask you this, dude. Could it be TNA is punishing Gail Kim? Because if you pay attention to Gail Kim, it's almost like they're holding her back in a way. Is she being punished for something that we don't know about?
You know what? I don't buy into that. I don't think she's being punished at all. I just think that it's not her time, or it's not her turn right now to be the top chick. It is time for some of these other girls to get shots at being the top knockout in the division. With Gail Kim, her time will come again, but as you see, even with all this going on, whether she's beefing with Taryn Terrell, who, as we see, as much as I love that woman, as we see, she's going to eventually start wrestling herself, and she got skills too. That's all it is it's going to be the angry referee finally starts wrestling. That's all that's going on with her. But Gail Kim will eventually be back in the fold. It's just that you can't be on top all the time.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. You can't have, TNA can't do like WWE does, with John Cena and Randy Orton and all them, and keep the same person on top 24 hours a day.
Right. Moving on, fellas, we got Team TNA going up against Team Aces and Eights. In one corner, you got, of course, Sting, Eric Young, James Storm, Samoa Joe, and Magnus going up against Devon, Knox, Wes. I believe it was Wes. I could be wrong on that one. Garrett, Doc.
It was. No, it was.
Anderson, Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson, my bad. I'm sorry.
It was Anderson.
Break it down, fellas. What did you guys think about this whole damn match? According to our insider dueling, he says that there hasn't been a heel team winner in all of Lockdown history. Is that true or false?
True. Let's see, unless Fortune or Mortal. I was trying to remember who won that one. But, I think so far in Lethal Lockdown, I believe it's been all face teams winning.
Damn. What's going on, and what's up with the heels? They can't pull it off?
Oh, no, it's not that they can't pull it off, because you can say that they didn't win, but Aces and Eights won for the night, did they not?
Yeah,
they didn't win that match.
I'll give you that much.
They
you're right.
Battle, but did they not win the war?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that was an excellent match. I enjoyed that match beginning to end. The one thing that TNA does is I like how Lethal Lockdown, all it is war games like NWA, WCW. That's all it is. Yeah. And they did such a great job with it. And for Eric Young to get the win for his team, I love the finish where he went from the top of the cage with the elbow drop. I couldn't ask for anything more. But what it did was, okay, TNA, you won that match, but what are you going to do now that Aces and Eights has the world champion in their fold? So I want to see what goes on from here.
Big Red, what are your thoughts on the match?
Man, I like the match. The match was good. Like Ed said, I'm glad that Eric Young got the win for his redemption, for what they tried to do to take him out, and
Right.
yeah, it was a good match. It was a solid match, and I expected for Team TNA to win because everybody was getting their redemption because Ace been terrorizing everybody ever since they've been there. So and everybody that was in that match, they try to take out one way or the other.
Exactly.
Yeah, Lethal Lockdown has always been Sting's match, so it's pretty much like, although the thing that surprised me was how everybody got along, because there's been some issues with a lot of guys within Team TNA.
That's
like
right.
Joe Magnus, for example, they were former tag team champions, then turned rivals.
Right.
Well, Sting and Joe even were battling for the world titles. Matter of fact, if I remember, Sting ended one of Joe's reigns at one of the Bound for Glory.
Sure did. Back in, what was it, 2000 and...
I think whatever the Main Event Mafia was happening or around that time.
But you know what though, Samoa Joe and Magnus the week before when they had the tag team match, I mean, they worked together like they never broke up.
Yeah, then even if you go back, it is like like I was talking about Eric Young between like all the stuff that he's been for, like for him now, like finally have like a major win and like a major battle. That's something from the Team Canada days, the Super Eric and all that stuff.
Yeah, the good thing that I liked about that was that he was so serious. What doesn't that comedy shit? It was seriousness. He straight up just got in there and just started whooping ass.
Exactly.
Right.
Big Will.
Big
Will, your thoughts on the whole match? Thoughts on the match?
Yeah, before I start, I don't know if you said his name, but it's Knox. His name is Nux. His name is Nux now. But I like that whole match. But in the beginning, I was wondering why they didn't bring the cage, the roof down on the cage like they normally do for Lethal Lockdown. When Sting came out with the weapons, I was wondering why they didn't just lower the roof with the weapons on it like they normally do. But then I saw what Eric Young did, and that was just awesome.
Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't last year's Lockdown the roof came down and it had the weapons on top?
Yeah,
yeah.
That's what they normally. That's how they normally do it all the time.
They were having some problems, and they couldn't do it where the roof was on top of the cage. Yeah, they said they had to make up for the fact they were having some issues trying to get that done. So that's the only reason why there wasn't a roof on the cage this year.
I thought they left it off so Eric Young could do that elbow.
Oh no, it's because they were having some issues with the roof.
It's all right though. The main event match made up for that.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Big Red, let's get into that main event time. Bully Ray going up against Mr. Jeff Hardy himself. Let's start off with Big Will. Go ahead.
The match was pretty good. It's just that last couple minutes overshadowed the whole thing.
Maurice, what you think about the whole match?
Gotta admit, like Jeff and Ray usually like do good together. Like no matter whether it's singles, whether it's tags. Like I think their tag chemistry is what gave them their confidence to pull off the singles. But I gotta admit, like there was a missing thing I thought that could have really defined this match. It was like I would have liked to seen Bully and Brooke like maybe sell the turn a little bit more, and it was like I think if you would have had a little more interaction with them, while Bully was going over the aces and eights, I think then you could have really had a perfect sell with the with Ray's heel turn.
Damn, that's what's up, Big Ant. Your thoughts on the whole match?
Oh, the whole match itself was great. Especially, my favorite part was when Bully hit the Bubba Bomb off the top rope. I thought
Ouch.
the match was over then and there.
By the way, we gotta throw that in there. We forgot to mention at the top of the hour. For those of you that don't know, actually Jeff Hardy suffered a slight concussion during that power bomb, if I'm not mistaken. Ain't that right,
That's
Big Red?
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because a lot of people were asking that. Jeff Hardy sold that whole thing, the hammer to the back. No, actually it was the Bubba Bomb. Other than that, Big Red. What are your thoughts on this whole match?
Man, the match was. I mean, I like that match, and like Reese said, they always have great chemistry together. But the one thing I'm gonna have to disagree with him on is, I think they showed that heel turn great. I mean, because at the end of the match, you saw the old ECW Bully Ray come out, and he was like, "Devon, let that bitch cry." And I was like, "Wow, really?"
Yeah, he said that.
He was like, "You stupid."
You stupid.
He's basically telling them, "Y'all stupid the whole time I've been playing both of y'all. I used you. I used you, you stupid bitch."
He's like screaming, at Hogan, he's like, "I used you." And then he went to Book, and he's like, "I screwed you."
But you know what? The look on Hogan's face was so priceless when he saw.
Priceless.
I mean, he was like, no, say it ain't so.
But you know what's cool? And this is something that's not mentioned often. How about how when Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff interfered earlier in the match and they got tossed out of the ring, you thought, okay, well, maybe Bully's not going to turn, and he's going to, maybe he's not going to turn and join Aces and Eights because he threw them out of the ring. I thought that was cool. They made it so that you thought it was going to happen at that moment, but it didn't, and it made you let your guard down a bit.
Yeah, I mean, because when they climbed over the top, and they was all, Bully and Jeff was back to back. He was like, "Oh shit, they finna fight them off? What?" And all of a sudden, you see Devon pull the hammer out of his pocket and just toss it to Bully. I was like, here it comes.
Oh.
I mean, it's just. Okay, I'm gonna have to. It's like the Thriller video when Michael was back to back with her. Then all of a sudden you turn around and he's part of them too.
Mm-hmm.
They had that same. It was like, oh shit, Jeff Hardy. But Jeff Hardy didn't even turn around. He just got clunked in the back of the head.
Right. The thing is, in wrestling, you can kind of tell whenever a heel turn's going to happen because everybody kind of, when they're all in the ring, people kind of start shuffling their feet a little bit. Because if it wasn't a heel turn, think about it. All the bad guys would have just circled them and ran in right away and kicked their asses, and they didn't.
I mean, and the whole shock of the thing is he turns out to be the president of Aces and Eights on top of it. I'm like, wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
He put a giant elaborate scheme so that he could become world champion.
Yeah. See, everybody was getting all upset and butt up because they showed that D-Lo was the VP last week on Impact, but nobody remembered they hadn't shown who the president was. It was Bully Ray.
Crazy. Gentlemen, thank you again. Hey, the number to call is 760-569-7676. Access code 200-446-pound. Once again, that number is 760-569-7676. Access code 200-446-pound. You guys are welcome to come in anytime. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at WCC Live. Also, check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/group/Wrestling Commentary Central. Big Will, thank you for putting this together. Thank you for putting this together. Anthony, where can we find your blogs at?
I don't like it when they're called blogs because I like to call them wrestling columns. But you can find
my bad.
Them
Wrestling columns.
Oh, excuse you.
Find them at
Yeah,
you can find them at www.kayfabekickout.com. And while you're there, also I guest hosted on doing a kayfabekickout.com audio where we interviewed NWA World Women's Champion Casey Carlisle. That's also there. So check us out.
That's what's up. Big Red, what's going on with Men of Passion?
Oh man, working on the new deal right now, record deal, and getting with the production company and all this stuff right here. So,
real quick, where can everybody find you?
That other stuff. Well, you can find me. You can find me on Twitter at RedDun81. You can find my group on Twitter at Men of Passion 12. Also find us on Facebook, Men of Passion.
That's what's up. Maurice, what's going on next week on Rockin'? I was about to say Rockin' with Wednesdays. Maurice, what's going on next week?
Next Wednesday night, as you know, it is the WCC Ring Rockers All Indie Show from March 2013, and all the independent wrestling you can handle. No WWE, no TNA talk. Make sure y'all tune in. And don't forget, I will also be announcing the winner of the WCC March Madness Championship Finals. So that'll be Wednesday night, 10 Eastern, 9 Central, right here on the WCC Network on YouTube.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe to YouTube over at Spawn200113. I am EL.CIBERNETICO, and we'll see you guys next Thursday night. Impact starts in about 20 minutes. We'll see you guys after the show. Reminder to watch TNA Recipe every Thursday night after Impact and also before Impact now. Check us out. Subscribe. Spawn200113, and we out.
All right, see you there.
Always knew he would. That's why he ain't over. Be on top. That's what he does. If you don't come along, it's gonna be a beat.